collectors, sports enthusiasts, and just fans of live streaming internet TV. And welcome. It is session one closing night for our summer platinum night auction. And the items are as hot as the weather here in our beautiful world headquarters in Dallas, Texas. I'm Mike Provenzale, the production manager in Heritage Sports Department. And with me, as always, is the most guffawing, most beloved guy in the hobby, Mr. Tony Giese. Tony, where are you located?
I am in a secret spot, actually. No, I am in my office, and this is such an exciting auction. There's been so much, such a buzz from the beginning, and, we were at Fanatics Fest at the National. You've been on the road 24/7, it seems like, just, at all these venues, and it's, you put in all this hard work, you take in stuff, and to see it, the next 3 nights, it's going to be so much fun, and looking forward to it.
It's one of the finest auctions we've ever put together, nay, anyone has ever put together in the sports industry. It really runs the gamut. We've got modern, vintage, 1888 to 2026 even, all sports, non-sports, a little bit of everything for everyone, actually a lot of everything for everyone. It's been a really thrilling experience. We've been promoting this sale for a long time. Of course, the big headline item in the auction is the 1986 Diego Maradona Hand of God and Gold, the Century Ball, which will be closing tomorrow night. It all started July 8th. We hosted FIFA VIPs for an event right here with the Maradona ball and soccer highlights on display. Then we were in New York for Fanatics Fest. Then we had a preview in our Chicago office. Then the National Sports Collectors Convention in Chicago. Then a preview in our Beverly Hills office. Then a preview in our New York office. And then this week, a preview in our world headquarters here in Dallas. I was here at 5 a.m. Central Time. This morning, we had 1310 The Ticket, the number one radio station in the DFW area, broadcast here from our headquarters. So, Tony, I'm on hour 16 of an at least 20-hour workday, and the caffeine is coursing through my veins. But we are very excited. Tonight, session one will close 10 p.m. Central Time is when extended bidding will begin. Then session 2 is tomorrow night, another main session, and then final session will be Sunday night. What we're going to do here is go through the big items, our favorite items, some hidden treasures within the auction. For those of you on our catalog list, it is 1,400 plus items, 3 catalogs, which I just carried some over here. I believe it was 47 pounds of catalog, but it's been a thrilling thing. We were so excited to get to bring all these highlights out to the fans, the collectors all over the country for them to see it. New clients, existing clients, everybody in the hobby. It's been a thrilling summer. I was out of town 4 out of 6 weeks. I survived that, still married, so things are going there. Tony, how are you feeling tonight?
I thought she was going to divorce you after all that travel. What the heck?
She made a lot of threats, I'll say.
Wow,
that. Wow.
She didn't come through on them? Okay, that's good, that's good. No, I mean, it's so much fun, and, we look forward to this so much that, 3 nights it's going to be, but it's so much fun, and a lot of bids coming in, a lot of action. In this auction, there was so much early action that really I thought was amazing. A lot of bids early on, and obviously people wait till the very end to bid in an auction cycle. So we're excited, and let's get it going.
Yeah, I'm sitting in our gallery where we have the highlights on display. I've got Cooper Flag and Muhammad Ali here over my shoulders, but we have 3 hobby monsters closing tonight. So we're going to start right there with a face everybody could recognize and a face only a mother could love. Honus Wagner, 1909 T206. Arguably, I don't know who would argue it, but the face of our industry, the most desirable card for collectors, the one everyone wants to own. Few can. Less than 60 exist. This is the one that even if you know nothing about sports or collecting, you've seen it, you know it, and you need it. This one has a very interesting backstory, and a good note, only 3 Piedmont backs exist for T206 Wagners, and this is one of them. All the rest are sweet cap. And I love that this one also includes a letter from an early collector who was trying to sell this one for $25. Tony, what's the bid at right now?
It is at 3.15 million right now, and
Yeah, so that
I have a feeling we're going to
$25
be
would get
here
a good
late
deal.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling Mrs. Provenzale may be mad at you again tonight because I have a feeling this auction is going to go pretty late into the night, and it's just amazing. I mean, anytime you see this card, it's a big deal. You can be, I mean, at the National, you'll see them every once in a while, but this card just stops everybody in their tracks and just really, it's amazing, and that's the one card I don't think it ever goes down in value. And whoever wins this card 5 years from now, hopefully they'll be selling it with Heritage Auctions. It'll be going for another record number. So yeah, I mean that card is it's kind of the standard in our industry, and it's the one that kind of you don't have to be a baseball fan or a sports fan to know this card. Everybody knows it, and we're just so proud to have it in the auction tonight.
Yeah, always exciting to see. I've worked at Heritage for 20 years. We've sold everything, and I've only seen a handful of these come through. That's how rare it is. So we'll have our eyes on that. And now another hobby classic closing tonight, the 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth. This is number 181 of the 4 Ruths in the Gaudy issue, and a PSA Mint 9, Pop 6, only one higher. Just a gorgeous example of one of the most famous cards that exists. Tony, your thoughts?
Yeah, when I saw this card for the first time, my eyes almost popped out of my head. It was amazing, and it was unveiled to me, and I was just, that bright, great green background and the classic Ruth image. The 33 Gaudy, it's it's a standard in our hobby, and it's in such great condition. The registration is amazing. The corners are great. Everything about this card is just it's amazing, and it's Babe Ruth. And again, a lot of early action on this card, and I think this is another one that as the night goes on, this one's going to be this one. I hope, and I think it's going to keep us here pretty late tonight.
Yeah, and I like how you said it was unveiled to you when it arrived.
Yes.
That's a little peek behind the curtain at Heritage.
Oh my gosh,
Auctions.
and
Every
it was
consignment
amazing.
that comes in is unveiled to the rest of the staff.
And you just, I mean, you hear about it, but I actually hadn't seen it. And then when I did get to see it for the first time, I was amazed. And again, the brightness of the card, and it's just that classic Ruth in his pinstripe jersey, that background, the Gaudy set. There's just so many things on this, and there's just so few of these in high grade. And this is one of the nicest this is the nicest I've ever seen of a 33 Gaudy. So very excited to have this, and just an amazing amount of cards in this auction, and those vintage cards still move the radar. They always have, they always will.
And it wouldn't be a Heritage Sports Auction without a high-grade 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle, and we have one of the finest. This one, a PSA near mint to mint 8 with an MBA silver. I have a note from our Vice President Derek Grady that I'm required to announce, who said, quote, "I've seen all the Mickey Mantle PSA 852 Topps, and this is the finest." So a little braggadocio from him. Not unusual, but yes, this is one that the aesthetics and eye appeal are just off the charts.
You look at the centering on some of these cards. That's the thing that's really getting people excited now, of course. The centering is amazing on this. And you got a Derek Grady quote?
That's correct.
How did you get that?
I've committed it to memory.
Okay, so I've tried 14 years and I haven't gotten one. So consider yourself very, very fortunate.
You got to get to 20.
14 for me. So 6 years from now, I'm going to ask Derek if he can give me a really good quote, and we can, move forward then.
And of course, we have monster cards, but also incredible memorabilia. Tony, what are some gamers that have caught your eye?
Yeah, the 61 Will Chamberlain game used, game worn All-Star jersey. I've said this for a while. I think Wilt is kind of underappreciated. What
Amazingly.
he did is just, I mean, I don't think what he did could ever be done again in basketball. And he was, 30 years ahead of his time, one of the most athletic, basketball players of all time. And I just love these All-Star jerseys. You've got the constellation of stars around it. You got the red, white, and blue. You've got the piping on it. It's just a gorgeous looking jersey. And to think that Wilt wore this in an All-Star game, it's just amazing. And I think there's going to be a day where people are going to look back and realize, you know what, this guy was just so much different than everybody else during that time period. And he was way ahead of his time. And again, one of the greatest athletes, not just basketball. I mean, I think he was a high jumper at Kansas and played for the Globetrotters. So there's a lot of really cool aspects of Wilt. And I think there's going to be a day where people are really going to take a step back and realize how far ahead this guy was.
Christian Watson.
I'm back. Did that scare you, Tony?
Yeah, I'm frightened. I thought you might have dropped the call or something. I don't know. Thought maybe my bunker here would. I don't know. I thought maybe you just like, I don't know, just got away from me for a
My
while there.
excitement is radiating so much it knocked out the Wi-Fi.
And it's early yet. We got a lot of time yet. We're just getting started here.
I'm just a big Wilt fan. What can I say?
Aren't we all?
But yeah, early Wilt gamers, need I say more? Always incredible to see something like that in person.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
we also have plenty of incredible game-worn footwear as well in the auction. Great choice here, Tony. What are your thoughts on this?
Photo matched. It's really taken over our hobby, our industry, and to have a photo matched Michael Jordan sneaker from the Dream Team, really the whole exhibition, the Olympics that changed basketball forever. It was, it was always a popular sport, but this made it worldwide. This took it to a whole different level, and anything related to the Dream Team, it takes on a totally special meaning. And this one here, photo matched Jordan Dream Team. I think this one, we've seen a spike. Everybody's seen a spike in Jordan game worn items and cards. This one here is so special. When I saw this one and when I saw that it photo matched, I mean, it just really, it's off the charts.
And an ultra popular retail model of Air Jordan as well. I was 13 years old, and I remember that was the hot pair to have on the schoolyard on the blacktop. But yeah, when you say Michael Jordan Dream Team, those are the all the four words you need to pique any collector's interest. Classic look and significance is what it's weighed down with as far as Dream Team and the game photo matching as well. Next up is one of my favorites, and we'll get to my favorite note about it in just a moment. But this is the 1963 Sandy Koufax game-worn LA Dodgers jersey. Classic look for the Dodgers. The aesthetics are always just off the charts. This was worn in 1963, Koufax's finest year, arguably the finest year a pitcher has ever had. 25 wins, 1.6 ERA. He won the pitching triple crown. He won the MVP and the Cy Young that season. It's photo matched to his 20th win of the season. They beat the Yankees in the World Series. It's photo matched to the Game 4 clincher in that sweep, which Koufax pitched. He won the World Series MVP. And then this just puts it over the top. After the season, the Dodgers appeared in an episode of Mr. Ed, and this jersey is photo matched to that episode. And while Koufax had a great season, he didn't fare as well against the equine TV star as Mr. Ed hit a dinger off Koufax while Koufax was wearing this jersey. If you've never seen that scene, I highly recommend you take a look at it on YouTube. But wow, talk about checking boxes, right?
And the thing that really stands out about this jersey is it's fresh to the hobby. This is making its hobby debut. And when it came in, I mean, I think we did an estimate of 250,000 once it photo matched. I will say this: I've been doing this 21 years. That was probably my favorite phone call I have ever made in my 21 years, because so many times it's bad news. Well, there's this and there's that wrong. This one here, my goodness, I'm just so, we're just so thrilled to have this. Such a historic piece. The 20th win, the World Series clincher. Yes, Mr. Ed as well, and he probably wore this the whole season. And when you have something like this that's photo matched, when you can say World Series, and you're talking Sandy Koufax at the height of his popularity, at the height of his game, and his career wasn't terribly long, but he was he was just a next level pitcher that people still talk about today. And a fresh to the hobby Koufax photo match, game worn jersey, photo match to a World Series. This one is really spiked up actually in the last probably hour. It was at 450,000. Now it's at 612,000. So we anticipate a lot of action on this jersey as the night goes on, as it's going to happen, I think, with a lot of these pieces. People are kind of waiting in the weeds, and it's going to be, I think, a big battle for a lot of this really high quality jerseys, cards, everything.
Yeah, a lot of action there. And on this next one, a lot of action within the last couple hours. This is a 2018 LeBron game-worn Lakers jersey. Not just any game, his Lakers debut. Tony, did he do anything significant with the Lakers during his stint there?
He did win a title. I will say that. Yeah, I mean, LeBron is LeBron. I don't think you will see this ever happen again in basketball. Careers aren't that long anymore. And, to come in as an 18-year-old kid with all the expectations, love him or hate him, the guy is really a one of one. And he's done things that will never be done again. I remember as a kid thinking that the scoring record would never be challenged by anybody. Abdul-Jabbar had it, and LeBron he surpassed him, and he's still amazing. He's still good. And I just remember the first time I saw him play as an 18-year-old, I said to myself, that guy is not 18 years old. So his staying power is amazing.
Do you want to see his birth certificate, Tony?
We're gonna have to sell it, maybe. We could, HA.com. We could, But no, I mean, this guy has had just an amazing career, and think of it this way, though, too. The thing I always think about him is every year he's had a pretty long playoff run. So it's not like some of these guys, they don't make the playoffs early on in their careers. He has had long playoff runs every single year. He's still good. He's still relevant. And yeah, the Lakers obviously have probably the number one or two franchise in basketball. And to have his debut jersey, it's a special thing. And you're right. That's one that's gone up tremendously in the last hour and a half. I think it was at 100,000, about an hour and a half ago. And it just keeps going and going and going. And that's a great sign.
Yeah. So many great gamers. This auction is stacked with them. Tony, this one you picked here is a beauty for the eyes to behold.
He could still play today. I'm telling you right now. I saw him at the National. I was at one of my friend's booths, and he comes up to the booth, and I'm telling you, that guy looks like he could still play. It's amazing. And yes, Reggie really made his name with the A. Record numbers now, and I think this one has had some action lately, and I think it's going to continue to go. And Reggie was a generational talent, and he was great in Oakland. He was amazing in New York, and this one here. And when you look at that jersey, look at the back nine, look at the use on that thing. The puckering is incredible on that jersey. Great use, photo match, great piping. It's kind of got everything.
Yeah, and I love that look. It's so unique. Solid work there. And speaking of people that have been making news in the hobby lately, Ken Griffey Jr. cards and memorabilia have been very hot, and this is a great example.
Yeah, this one here, I noticed it, through the years. He wasn't really in the steroid conversation, and he was the one guy that really didn't get embroiled in the whole thing. But we sold a game used, I believe it was Photo Match rookie era bat for 150,000 last month, and I think that really changed a lot of things in the hobby for him. I mean, $150,000 for a bat of a modern player, other than Ohtani, is so significant. And I think that one has brought out some quality game worn jerseys of his. And this one again, Photo Match. The thing that stands out is Photo Match in 1993. It was a new style, and with that teal and the silver, the combination of that, it was just amazing when they broke that out. And I think he had 8 home runs in 8 games. That streak and everything. I mean, this is when you think of Griffey at the absolute top of his game. This is the jersey that you think of. This is the style that you think of, and this is a timeless design, I would say. And again, photo matched. It's got everything. It's got great wear as well. So yeah, just an amazing Griffey.
And he's truly the most beloved player from that era. You cannot find somebody who doesn't like Griffey or didn't enjoy seeing him play. As you said, classic style. And speaking of his bats, we've got 2 incredible Griffey bats in this auction that we'll be talking about a little bit later. But as I mentioned at the top, we have a lot of great soccer material in the auction. That's one of the areas of the hobby that's really been growing. The World Cup, of course, has helped, but a lot of big stars. But this next one is the first true global superstar for the beautiful game. This is a signed 1958 Alafabagale Pele rookie card signed by the global icon, and it's from his personal collection. I love that note. He owned this card. He signed it. It's a 10 autograph. We did a collaboration where our team and PSA went to Pele's home. Matt Wagner, our coworker, who's a huge soccer fan, got to go down there, and Pele signed material in his collection live, which we've been selling over the last few years. And this is one of the finest Pele rookies that exist. BGS 8.5 with the 10 autograph. Have you ever had this one in your collection, Tony?
I have not, and I am so impressed how you pronounce that name.
Nailed it.
If you would have asked me to pronounce that, it would have been far different. I'll just say that. But no, this one, so often, and obviously this card, there's not a very high population of. When people did get them signed, it was the lowest grade possible. You didn't get a high grade card signed. So this one here, really the high grade with the nice autograph. I mean, this one here is just amazing. And the World Cup, I think this year really took on special meaning, especially here. And I can just see it continuing to grow. I mean, it is the world sport. Let's be honest. It is the world sport. True. And things are really on the up and up. And I mean, Pele's the Babe Ruth of soccer. I think we can all admit that. And he kind of helped put it on the map. And it's a worldwide sport. It's not just U.S. It's not, it's a worldwide sport. So yeah, that's an amazing card.
And if you've ever held or seen one of these cards raw, not much put into the production, so it's very fragile material, very thin. So even that 8.5 on the card grade is very high, and we're expecting this to make some noise tonight as we get closer to extended bidding. Up next, another incredible rookie, a rookie buyback. In 2006, Fleer had a brilliant idea that has worked out. For the 20th anniversary of their Hoops masterpiece, the 1986 Fleer set, they bought back 23 1986 Fleer Jordan rookies. They had Jordan sign number them. I would love to know what they paid him for that 2 minutes of his time, but every time one of these reaches the auction block, it is a huge result. It's the 2006 Fleer rookie buyback autograph. This one with a 10 autograph from Jordan, numbered 11 of 23, and a BGS near mint to mint plus 8.5 on top of that. Gorgeous specimen. Tony, what's the finest Jordan rookie you've ever had in your collection?
I have never had one, and the thing I
Never.
always go back to is how many times was I at a card show? And I know I grew up in northern Wisconsin, and throughout to us it was football and baseball. How many times did I walk by them? I always wonder at a card show, not even thinking about it. And I say it all the time. I remember 1988, 89 watching Come Fly With Me the whole summer. There wasn't a lot to do, in north of Green Bay, and I never thought of buying basketball cards, even though I watched Come Fly With Me. I could narrate the video. I just didn't buy them, and I think so many kids, it was Topps baseball, and that's what it was, and people didn't really go towards basketball, and now it's amazing. It's amazing to see this card, and yeah, they were far ahead of their time. And I wonder what they paid them now, what they paid them back then, and what they would pay them now to do the same signing. It would be a little bit more expensive. I'm guessing.
They did pay him because they had him sign packs this year of
They did.
Fleer, so for the 40th anniversary. But it's so interesting how just a signed Jordan rookie card, even with the 10 autograph, can't reach the prices of these Fleer buybacks. They are so coveted. People loved that idea, and this limited issue here of 23. So excited to see where that ends up. Up next, one of the best running backs of all time. I have him number 2 on my list as I sit in Dallas, Texas, and I'm a Cowboys fan, but arguably the finest Barry Sanders card that exists. This is the 1998 Metal Universe Barry Sanders Gym Master, a 1/1, and an NBA Gold. This skybox late 90s Metal Universe design kind of has a comic book energy to it, and the Gym Masters parallel push that concept even higher into new territory. You've got the 1/1 status, a beautiful card. The graphics are unbelievable. You've got the lion on there, and Barry Sanders material for what a great athlete he was, how popular he was. The prices for his cards didn't really meet his excellence on the field, but this is one of those limited 1/1s that could really see some fireworks tonight, and we'll see what happens in 90 minutes now.
Yeah, and I know growing up in the junk wax era, I mean, the 89 score, the 89 Pro set, those were like, to us, it was like Honus Wagner a little bit. And the thing is, you're right. You make a great point. There weren't a lot of like chase cards, 1/1s, that kind of thing. And I mean, Barry was just different. He was just different. I mean, I've never seen anything like it again. I haven't seen anything like it. I don't think you ever will. Some people say kind of like a Gale Sayers kind of athlete. Just, he was here and gone. But yeah, I mean, this one here, this is most likely his best card. And there's a lot of Barry Sanders fans out there, me being one of them. I remember our senior photo. I'm wearing a Barry Sanders jersey in our senior photo. In Green Bay, a Columbia blue
Hawaiian
jersey.
blue.
Yes. And I mean, I'm like, man, I mean, he was just different. And again, you're starting to see some of these 90s inserts go for record numbers. And this one here is well on its way. I could see this one going on, just going crazy tonight. Again, an extended bid. I think this is going to be one of the cards that's going to go just absolutely nuts.
And this is one that I expect after it sells tonight, it's going to disappear into a collection for a long time. Sanders is so beloved by all football fans. As we just heard, a lifelong Packers fan was wearing his jersey. You can't get higher praise than that. But beautiful card, a 1/1. You've got NBA Gold on it, the Gym Master. So I think this is one you're not going to see it come back out in a year. This is one somebody's going to cherish. So take the opportunity while you can. Now, Tony, you got some big shoes to fill in the closing show here, talking bats, replacing Mr. Joe Orlando.
Oh man, come on here.
I'm putting the pressure on.
Come on,
let's see how you do.
Oh boy, that's some really big shoes to fill. What I'll say about this bat at the National was the first time I got to see this in person, And I had a lot of bat collectors come up to the booth and they wanted to see that in person. They wanted, to get a good look at that. I've seen Pine Tar. We've all seen Brett Pine Tar. This is next level. The description, I think it says I don't know if it says caked in pine tar, but the
Yes.
term Jonathan Shire used in this was one of his all timers. Look at the description and I forgot the term that he used, but it was really, really well put. And I mean, this one is just doused with pine tar from the handle to well past the trademark.
Oh, so you think he broke the rules on this one?
I think Billy Martin would be
no
rolling
question.
over in his grave right now if he saw that, because I think Martin died in 88 or 89. I'm sure Billy Martin would have definitely called him out on it. But again, great use, amazing pine tar, and it's photo match. And photo matching bats is tough to do. So this one, as far as Brett bats are concerned, this could be the nicest that's going to ever sell. I was just shocked when I saw how much pine tar was on this bat. So obviously it was in his arsenal for a long time. I'm sure he wrapped out a lot of hits with that bat. But again, the pine tar really, really moves it.
Yeah, if you're buying a Brett bat, you want it to be caked with pine tar above the legal line on the bat, and that's what you've got here. Also a PSA 10 and photo match. So it's got everything you want out of a Brett bat. An incredibly popular player, even though he played in a very small afterthought market, although they had their best days when he was there. But another one of those athletes that if you bring him up to anyone, no matter what team they're a fan of, they're a fan of his.
The term that was used in the title, drenched in an ocean of pine tar.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That is very accurate.
I got to give a shout out to our shipping team who packed that up to send it to the National, because not an easy task to do, but they'll take care of it when they ship it out to the winning bidder as well. So no worries. You'll get every drop of that ocean of pine tar when it reaches your house. I love this next one you chose, Tony. We don't, autograph books and autograph collecting back in the day was such a huge part of the origin of the hobby, but we don't talk about it enough. What do we have here?
This is what I usually call these when I write these. A labor of love is really, truly what it is. And this one here, this autograph book was compiled in the 20s and 30s when autograph was kind of, it was kind of in its infancy, where people would just bring that autograph book, bring it to the ballpark. But this one here's got some really interesting and tough Hall of Fame autographs. There's a Lou Gehrig in here, Amelia Earhart, Jimmy Fox, but the toughest one, Billy Hamilton. And the thing is, he signed it twice. So on the page that Billy Hamilton signed, he kind of wrote a note, but he also signed that page 2 times. And he is one of those guys, is just almost a near impossible signature. To have him in there is, I was taking phone calls on this one, and I've had a lot of interest, a lot of people, just talking about this autograph book. But then you've got James Naismith, you've got Grover Cleveland Alexander. So you've got a cross section of the world of the world from the 20s and 30s, and just remarkable that they kept it. First of all, they kept it in great condition, and you've got these great names from the 20s and 30s, and some of the Hall of Famers that are really hard to find. So that's a fun one. Those are really fun to write, because they're, every page, it's like, oh my God, they got to meet Jimmy Fox, they got to meet Gehrig, they got to meet Billy Hamilton, they got to meet all these people. And I just love paging through those every time we write them, seeing, who's going to be the next one in this book. And that was a fun one. The crazy thing is it had a 10,000 estimates at 23,000 right now with 2 days left. So people are just getting in line right now. And I think the bidding's going to go absolutely crazy.
I love when those autograph books have celebrities or political figures or actors in there. The Amelia Earhart, that's a very cool addition to it. It's such a great slice of life from that era of somebody that, was grinding getting this many autographs. There's 3 autograph books in here. So as you said, a labor of love. And, it wasn't like they could go to autograph shows back then. Things didn't exist. So, these were people who were hunting them down at events, finding out what bars and hotels they were at, staying outside the clubhouse after games. A lot of work went into this, a lot harder to accumulate that many autographs back then.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. And, just to think of how many experiences and encounters they had with these celebrities, it's, it's so much different now. I mean, obviously now you don't have access like you did back then. And it's just, it's a fun one. We write a lot of different things. Those autograph books are just, I love taking a step back and just looking at them and just writing them because they're so much fun.
All right, Tony, take a look at the big board. I wanted you to give us some of the action.
Oh my God, the pressure's on. I mean, there's so many six-figure pieces now. It's just unbelievable. The 52 Topps Mantle, 1.8 million. It just hit. Signed Jackie Robinson
to set a record for a 52 Topps Mantle and an 8 this evening.
Yeah.
So
I mean, again, the Mike Baker sticker on there, takes it to that next level. And the centering, the corners, the registration, everything is there on it. The Hulkster is getting a little love, 185,000 right now on the Hogan belt. So that one from WrestleMania 2 photo match.
Talk about that later too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we got a lot to talk about. I think the one I really love here is the 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson. That's at 180,000. And I mean, that's one that, the way he signed it, where he signed it, he had such a beautiful signature, and that card, it's just amazing. And that one there, again, you got
look at Tommy on the spot there. Nicely done, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy is, he's got his A game tonight. He's ready to go.
One of my favorite Jackies, and beautifully signed. Got the NBA sticker as well. So a great one. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to take you all out to the pitch and talk some beautiful game after this message here.
This is the most important soccer item to ever reach the auction block. This ball was on the pitch and at the feet and head or hand of one of the most legendary players of all time during his greatest moment. This ball is photo matched to Diego Maradona's Hand of God goal and his goal of the century in the quarterfinals of the 1986 World Cup versus England. No 4-minute passage in World Cup history has carried more argument, symbolism, and aesthetic force than Diego Maradona's 2 goals against England at Estadio Azteca on June 22nd, 1986. The first goal, later canonized as the Hand of God, came from chaos. Steve Hodges' looping touch dropped into the area, Peter Shilton came to claim, and Maradona, giving away height and reach, improvised with his left fist. The referee allowed the goal, and Maradona's own explanation afterward only deepened the myth. What followed 4 minutes later remains the more important act of the game. Receiving the ball in his own half, Maradona accelerated through England's shape with the low center of gravity, elastic balance, and left-footed control that defined his peak. He moved past Beardsley and Reed, glided beyond Butcher and Fenwick, beat Shilton, then held his line under recovery pressure to finish. FIFA later described it as an 11-second run, and its endurance owes as much to decision-making as to dribbling technique. The changes of pace, the body feints, the refusal to release too early, and the final composure when lesser players would have rushed the shot. In 2002, users of FIFA.com voted it the FIFA World Cup goal of the century. This ball is photo matched to both of those iconic goals, which stand as a shining moment of Maradona's career and a huge moment for the Argentine football team. It's going to find a new owner in our summer Platinum Night auction.
I can't take credit for that description. That was
Oh,
John
come on. Why not?
People who know me know that that's not how I talk about sporting events. But I love to steal our wordsmith's prose, and that's what it was right there. A huge item, closes tomorrow night, so still has time. It is going to sell, so we're excited to see where it ends up, as was the case with the 1932 Babe Ruth called shot jersey 2 years ago. and the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant logo man last year. I spent all summer with this soccer ball traveling around the country. It was such an amazing experience getting to see all the collectors look at it, all the fans, and, especially at Fanatics Fest. We were there in New York the weekend of the World Cup final, Argentina, Spain. So, of course, there was a lot of Argentinian fans there, a lot of press, and I got to tell that story to people from all over the world. And just to see the awe and amazement that this exists, and it was right in front of them. There were so many people from Argentina there, and it was like a religious experience for them to see it. Also, a lot of English people there, and whatever the opposite of a religious experience is, that's what they were going through when they saw it. But they couldn't help note how incredible it was. My favorite note on it is that the reason it survived, it was the only ball used in the game, which is incredible in itself. The reason it survived is that the head referee kept it. So the man who botched the call on the hand of God goal knew because of that it was a significant ball and he should hold on to it. It has that provenance, his letter. He had the other referees sign it as provenance because that was the only time they were all together. So very smart move, but an incredible item. I'm very lucky to have gotten to spend so much time showing it off to collectors and fans. And tomorrow night it's going to find a new home. Tony, what are your thoughts on this?
It was amazing to me at Fanatics Fest. And it wasn't just, it was everybody. It was kids that obviously weren't even alive when that happened.
Right.
And it was people of all ages taking photos with this. Even at the National, it was the number one piece that we had on, they had at our booth. And it was just amazing that people would make that trek just to see that ball. And yeah,
all
the history
way to the back corner of the Javits.
Yes. We were right behind PSA, and that was like they found it. And the thing about this is, I mean, you and I talked about it. I think it was yesterday. I mean, this is literally like Babe Ruth's called shot jersey, which we sold years ago now, and it's literally the number one piece in soccer history that is in an auction. I mean, this should be in a museum somewhere, and maybe that's where it will end up. But it's just amazing that we get the opportunity to sell this during the World Cup. I think that was a huge factor. That's been a huge factor. But that's the one item at Fanatic Fest and at the National that really just pulled people in. A lot of people taking photos with this, and we're just honored to have this item.
Yeah, so that'll be very exciting tomorrow night. But tonight we have this piece from another Argentina legend, this 2012 Lionel Messi FC Barcelona game-worn jersey. A lot to love about this one. First of all, 2012 Messi, need I say more? His finest season, arguably the greatest season a player has had, 91 goals this season. This is photo matched. And then what's cool is it's the rare orange alternate style as well for FC Barcelona. So it's got a lot to like. Tony, did you enjoy watching Argentina's run this year?
I just see this jersey and I think of the Astros rainbow knits a little bit. I'm sorry. The way it goes from the orange to kind of going into the yellow. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Messi's, one of the biggest figures ever, and photo match jersey. And I love the color. I love the style of it. It's unique. It's different. And, it's one of the nicest soccer jerseys that I've ever seen.
Yeah, gorgeous piece. We have some great gamers from all the biggest names, Mbappe, Ronaldo. We also have a Diego Maradona game-worn Argentina jersey from his first World Cup in 1982. But right now, let's talk some vintage baseball and specifically Type 1 photographs.
This one here, every time we go up to Montreal 3 times a year, and every time I go up there, I'm always hoping to get something Jackie Robinson. There's the insert that they had in 46. Those you'll see here and there. But this one here is just so special. I mean, it's his debut in Montreal for the Royals, and it's anything from 46 of Jackie. Obviously, takes on special meaning. His 1 year in the minors, and he was north of the border in Montreal, and just a great photo. And we've seen, not just Heritage, but everybody has really seen Type 1 photos just explode as far as popularity goes. I think people are starting to realize there's not 100 of this same photo. It's literally a one of one type photo. And you're seeing those historic photos get record numbers. And look at that. I mean, he's getting, he's,
George Shotgun Shuba there.
yeah,
Shake.
another MLB player.
Shuba used to go to the National, and he would talk about this moment all the time to anyone that would listen. He knew how important it was. And this photo was the inspiration for a statue in Shuba's hometown of Youngstown, Ohio, of him and Jackie shaking hands here. It's a statue called A Handshake for the Century. Huge moment for baseball. And I know from talking to Shuba, it shows that he was incredibly proud to be a part of it. But an absolutely beautiful image.
What I love about it so much, you've got the crowd, you got the umpire, you got the handshake, you've got everything in that one tight shot like that. It's very clear. And again, there's not a lot of Jackie Robinson Montreal items out there. He was in the minor leagues, but to capture that image, it's so special. And again, Type 1 photos getting record numbers. This one here is going to do a great number tonight.
Yeah, very excited about that. And this next photo, we were thrilled. We got this in just under the wire. It came to us raw. This is its auction debut, fresh material, an image I know you all recognize. 1909 Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner meet in the World Series, original photograph by Louis Van Ooyen, PSA Type 1. This was been used for various different cards. This was the only time Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner, the two biggest stars of the time, met on the diamond in the World Series. Wagner wins, takes it from Cobb in the World Series. But two of the greatest batters of all time. They both had a lot of respect for each other. High praise to get any kind of respect out of Ty Cobb. He viewed every other player as a rival, but he really had a lot of respect for Wagner. And this is the only existing Type 1 example. Henry Yee, the PSA photo authenticator, said he's never seen one. It's the only one PSA has authenticated, and an incredibly famous photo. I got to read Henry Yee's quote. Easily one of the greatest pre-war photographs featuring the era's two greatest batsmen and the only known Type 1 specimen, as captured by Van Ooyen. So a huge piece making its hobby debut, and it's going to find a new home tonight.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've seen this photo before, but not as a Type 1.
Right.
And I thought you were going to say it was the only time that Ty Cobb smiled in his life. I was convinced you were going to say that.
He does have one card where he is smiling. So this is only the second example of that.
I mean, it's such a historic photo. I mean, those two legendary icons meeting for the World Series, no less. And what did he say? Hey, Crowderhead, here I come, I think it was. Or something
Tony,
like.
Hold on. I've got a very special treat. Jim, can you come over here for a second? One of my personal heroes. We're doing a live stream for our closing. This is Jim Lentz, the head of our animation art department. They have an auction going on just in the room right now. How's it going, Jim?
It's going really good.
Yeah, I've been watching the results come in.
It's going good.
Great auction. If you have any animation art material or any questions, please reach out to Jim. He is the foremost expert in the world, right? Have to be.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, he knows a little bit.
To quote Robert De Niro, a little bit.
But more important than that, great guy. Happy to talk to you about your collection. Whether you have an animation art collection or you're ready to start one, reach out. This is the guy right now.
How did you pay his
Good luck in there.
How did you pay his appearance fee? Because he doesn't do that for free. That's not
auctions before, so you waive the appearance fee.
okay. Because he doesn't just do that for free. You got to pay up. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you could get him. That man, I travel a lot. That man travels. He is on the road almost 24/7.
He will come see you.
Yes, he will. He will come and visit you. And yeah, wonderful guy. I've been here 14 years. He's been there. He's been here longer than I've been here. And yeah,
Yeah.
just a great guy. And he's so knowledgeable.
All right, back to sports, Tony. Let's talk some Babe Ruth.
I got to stay focused.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
got to stay
gosh.
focused here.
Yeah.
Laser
Good luck.
All right, Babe Ruth. You've got his publishing contract here.
Yeah, this came out the year before he passed away. He was sick at the, when this book came out, but he did do the tour to promote the book and everything. And this was actually the contract which had his services secured, and just a very unique piece, very late in his life, and just a really cool contract. You get the George H. Ruth autograph signature. He endorsed it, and this was kind of his last hurrah. And you'll see signed books here and there, and they always command a pretty good premium. This is so special because this is the thing that really, that secured him for that book. And this came in kind of late in the process as well, but it's one we definitely were going to fit into our auction. And right now it's at 15,500. But everything of Ruth, every autograph is really up from what it's been before. It's got a 60,000 estimate. We have one day before this one closes, so I anticipate a lot of bids as this goes on.
And closing tonight, one of the coolest tickets I've seen. And that's saying a lot when you work at Heritage Auctions. So this is a 1923 World Series Game 6 ticket. The Yankees have won so often and for so long that it can be hard to imagine a time when they were still waiting for an October coronation. But that's exactly what we have right here. 1923 World Series, Game 6 at the Polo Grounds. This ticket was there when Babe Ruth and the Yankees clinched their first World Series, finally defeated the Giants and set in motion arguably the greatest dynasty in sports history, for sure, in baseball. And this one is signed by Babe Ruth, one of just 2 examples in the PSA population of this ticket signed by Ruth. That's history right there, Tony.
It is, and you can almost guarantee it was signed that day at the game. I mean, somebody had their ticket and had the wherewithal to get it signed, which is just amazing. And we had some phone calls on this one today because, I mean, it's so special, and it's Ruth, and it's, actually after the game most likely, and it's got that great signature from 1923 with the quote marks, and it's really stood the test of time. And just a gorgeous ticket. I love the background of it too. He didn't sign a dark blue ticket; it's an orange ticket, so that autograph really shines off the ticket. And just a historic series, and it's Ruth, and there's very few tickets that are signed by him. You might see things when he was, after he was done playing, there's some of the golf tickets, some of that kind of thing, but an actual World Series ticket signed by Ruth, just incredibly rare, and a special piece from the period, no less.
And a great point, because it probably was signed that day because it just wasn't in people's minds to, I should take this ticket to this dinner where Babe Ruth is going to be. That just wasn't a thing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why would you bring your ticket in? And so many of those, if they were signed, usually they would have been signed in pencil because people scored the games. And so most of those things you'll see are signed in pencil because people had pencils when they're scoring the game. So have it in that nice, beautiful fountain pen, just amazing, and just a great ticket. And again, there's so few of them out there that this one is so special.
Yeah, the only one I've seen, as I said, only 2 existed. And speaking of Babe Ruth autographs, it's the cornerstone of the hobby, Tony. Babe Ruth single signed baseball. So way back in 2012, Tony, 2012, we sold a Babe Ruth single signed baseball graded a PSA Mint Plus 9.5 for $388,000. That is still the record for a Babe Ruth single signed baseball. So 14 years ago, despite the fact that in the last decade, records drop every auction cycle for every genre of item, the one record that's still standing is one of the cornerstones of collecting sports, single sign baseballs. So this is the nicest one I've seen since that one. A Beckett autograph 9, also authenticated by PSA, but from 46-47, a beautiful specimen. We've had this at all the previews and all the shows, and this one is just a jaw dropper. Everyone has said this looks like it was signed yesterday. The ball's in great condition. The signature is unbelievable. Just a spectacular orb here.
Yeah, I mean, and Tommy, great job on the close up there. I mean, Ruth, the sweet spot, that's why it became popular, because that's where he signed it. And yeah, it was done towards the end of his life, and it's just gorgeous that somebody took that kind of care of it. They didn't put it out, out in their house. They probably put it in a sock or in the box and kept it away from the sun. And it's one of the nicest Ruths you're gonna find. And again, a lot of times when these sell, they don't come out for decades, because who's ever buying this is going to take great care of it. They're going to probably put it in their collection, and that's where it's going to stay. It's just an amazing Ruth ball. Well, I would say it's one of the top 5 in the hobby.
Has to be.
Mhm.
And I'll say at Fanatics Fest, where a lot of the people there were new to collecting or not into collecting yet, and at our previews in Beverly Hills and in New York, where you get a lot of people coming in who collect, or clients for other departments, when they saw this, they said, is this the most important sports collectible that exists? That's the aesthetic pleasure you get from looking at it. It's just a jaw dropper. So to your point that when it sells, it's going to disappear into the collection, this is one you put on display, and it doesn't matter who comes in, even if they've never heard of autographed baseball collecting, it is going to shock and amaze them. So
Yeah.
An incredible specimen. I'm happy to say in our auction, we have one of the finest pieces from the Sweet Science. And I've been traveling with this one for many weeks as well. Glad you picked it, Tony. Let's talk Thrilla in Manila.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an absolutely brutal fight, and in brutal conditions. And I think both of these fighters, it was the closest to death that they ever were, and in a different country. And just the thing I love about this robe, that satin exterior and that powder blue. As a collector, I just love the colors on this thing. It's in great condition. It's got Ali's name on the back, and just, I mean, it's got the pop-up collar. It's got everything, and he signed it just perfectly when he did sign this. And I mean, this one here, historical fight. And this is another one that it's not just sports guys that are going to go after this. This is more Americana as well. Ali, just different than everybody else. And this is I would say one of the top pieces to own from, and you and I talked about this yesterday as well. Like, match worn gloves are cool and everything, but when you put this on a mannequin, it just stands out so well, so much, and it's in great condition. A lot of times these things, if they weren't stored properly, they could have yellowed from exposure, but this one was well taken care of. I believe it was from the Bundini Brown collection, which was, I think, unearthed in the mid 80s when he passed away. So this one here, again, kind of making its debut, and it's just one of those historic fights that boxing back in that time period, it was a top 3 sport, and Ali was the biggest name. Frazier, Ali. I mean, those were the 2 biggest names, and they had those 3 fights. And this one here, just so special and so unique. And again, having this in a Platinum Night sale is just so special.
Yeah, one of the fun things about having our material on display here in our home office is you get so many different types of collectors coming in. We've got animation art people here for the auction. You've always got regular art, comic book collectors. We have over 50 departments. And I was talking to a big coin collector today who I was showing around. And to your point, he said, no question, Muhammad Ali is the most famous athlete globally of all time. And he was just blown away by this. And I've heard a lot of that from people at the previews and at Fanatics Fest, that Ali is more important than any other athlete. You may have your opinion, but incredible piece, and can't wait to see where that goes tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one to watch.
A holy grail for Olympic collectors. This is an 1896 Athens Summer Olympics first place medal. I know what you're going to say, Tony. How can that be first place? It's not gold. Well, this was the first modern Olympics in Athens in 1896. Back then, first place got silver. So this is a silver medal. Second place got bronze. Third place got nothing. That first Olympics,
You get nothing.
you got
All
the
right.
thrill of competition. That's
Wow.
all you got if you got third place. There was only 43 events at that first Olympics, so only 43 of these were made. And I will say the first event at the first modern Olympics, first Olympics that were held in 1,500 years, was the triple jump, and an American won that event. So an American won the first Olympic medal in 1,500 years. But so cool to see this piece of history that anyone who collects Olympics needs in their collection, and only 43 were made, only a handful are known. But incredible piece here.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this again. Being the first of anything, first and last, the bookend, and this one here. I mean, it's got a great look to it as well. I mean, that is just it's a great look, and it's in great condition. You would think it would be worn down or there would be some type of exposure. This one here, I mean, it's just a beautiful looking medal. And to have it from the first Olympics, I mean, that's just so amazing. And rarely are these ever offered. So it's a special piece. And I think it's going to perform quite well.
Tony, should we talk Brett Favre perhaps this weekend?
I could talk Brett Favre any weekend.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah. So this one here, it was a sad moment. I'll say this, but I was looking through the auction. And when I saw this, all I could think of was him just absolutely almost freezing to death after the 2008 NFC Championship game. They lost at Lambeau, but Favre, ended up being his last game as a Packer, and he threw that interception. And I remember Tom Coughlin looked like he was near death as well. But kind of cool items directly from his collection, from Favre's collection. And the pants unwashed. So you got that Lambeau Field turf in there. You got the hand warmer pockets. You've got the hat. You've kind of got everything. And the pants are photo match. So, we talk about the first Olympics. Well, then you talk about Brett Favre being his last game at Lambeau. It was the end of an era. And it was an era that took the Packers from the doormat to the top of the league. And it was a fun season, 2007, because the expectations were that they were not that high, but they went to the championship game, and unfortunately they lost. But that being said, having something from Favre's last game at Lambeau, very, very special.
Yeah, I mean, one of the few times when I was rooting for the Packers, given their opponent.
What? Whoa! I didn't know you back then, so son of a gun. I wish I'd known.
But we are honored to have Brett Favre's collection in this auction, and one of the highlights is another complete outfit here from 2005, the game where he passed 50,000 career passing yards. Game worn, signed, photo match, the pants, and this is one heck of a pants auction. I'll say that, Tony. But yeah, some great items directly from Favre's collection. They come with his letter of provenance. There's game worn material. There's game balls. There's signed items. Just a great retrospective of his career, and some really incredible material for Packers fans. I know you and Chris Nara were very excited to see that come in.
Yeah, I mean, Favre again, and the thing he did so well, he signed these perfectly, put the inscription in there. They are photo matched. So again, a big, a huge factor in this whole thing. And again, the 50,000 yards, I mean, when Favre was, early in his career, football was still a game where they ran the ball a lot. Yeah. Now it's really changed and gone the entire opposite direction. But Favre, it just changed. I always say this: there's a few generations of Packer fans that don't know losing. Before he was there was a lot of losing, and I remember it really well. And it was an organization going nowhere, and he changed things. He changed the landscape. people didn't want to go to Green Bay. It was Siberia, and now that's changed a great deal. And again, photo match Favre. I think as the years go on, people realize how special of a time it was, not just in Green Bay, but in the NFL. Unfortunately, they had to always play the Cowboys in those early '90s in the playoffs on the road, but no, just an amazing collection, and we're so happy to have it. And I think the Favre fans, I being one of them, are going to really go crazy for this material.
Well, let's take a quick break. We have a lot of incredible collections in this auction. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of those collections that'll be featured this weekend.
Few figures in the history of professional football have embodied toughness, longevity, and competitive fire quite like Brett Favre. Across 16 unforgettable seasons in Green Bay, Favre transformed the quarterback position into a weekly display of grit and improvisation, captivating generations of fans with his fearless style of play. A Super Bowl 31 champion, 3-time consecutive NFL Most Valuable Player, and the architect of one of the league's most celebrated eras, Favre became synonymous with the Green Bay Packers, restoring one of football's most storied franchises to championship prominence, while establishing a legacy that would ultimately earn him enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Heritage Auctions is honored to present selections from Brett Favre's personal collection in our Platinum Night auction. Each lot comes directly from Brett Favre and is accompanied by a personally signed letter of provenance, providing an exceptional level of authenticity and historical significance. Favre has chosen to part with these cherished pieces from a genuine desire to see them appreciated by the collectors and fans who have celebrated his career for decades. They now offer a rare opportunity to own artifacts preserved by the man who lived the moments they represent.
These are the proof sheets. I wanted to be at every game, more than shooting, but bearing witness, like you're part of the game. And much like a wartime photographer, it wasn't enough to take the pictures. I wanted to live it. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to bear witness. And that's how I started. And when Bill Walsh became head coach of the 49ers, I approached him. I knew that he was a man of letters. He was a student of history. And I pitched him that I thought he was going to be doing great things. And I thought it was important to document this, not just for the team and for the league, but for history. And I wanted to shoot it as a presidential photographer would shoot it. But in order to do that, I would have to have total access. And Bill said, total access? I said, Coach, that means I have to be everywhere. Be in the buses, on the plane, in the locker room, pregame, halftime, postgame. I want to be able to record it all. And he looked at me and he said, okay, I think I understand, but what if you go too far? I said, Coach, inevitably, I will go too far. And I said, all you have to do is give me a look and I'll back off. I was lucky that I was in the right place at the right time to record all this history, and what I think all of us will agree was certainly the golden age of sports in America, and maybe a golden age of culture.
That's early. Wow. 79.
Wow, so that's a rookie.
Oh, man. That is awesome.
I've never done any of this to make money. I've always done it as an extension of my life. And I think that's what, if I wanted to make money, I would have stayed in law school or been an investment banker, been a dope dealer, whatever people do to make money. I love this. I live this. And you know what? That's been the ultimate payment for me. I always tell people, I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world being able to do what I've done. So lucky, I feel like I've never had to work a day in my life. And when I look at my bank account, I feel like I've never worked a day in my life. They were in the closet. I hadn't looked in 20 years. I'd forgotten some of the things I had.
This is a major find.
This is the mother load. It's better than what I expected.
This is a major find you've got here.
The same reason somebody might get any number of these pictures, because they knew the person or the team or the game. And in paying whatever they pay for that, this will be something like, wow, God, I really have this. And that's who I hope would get this. I've had a pretty cool, magical ride through not just sports, not just music, just culture.
Tony, looked like you had some fun with Michael there.
I'm going to tell you this, and Tommy was with us for this entire consignment pickup, as was Chris Naird. Chris Naird was the guy who got this all orchestrated. I have done a lot of pickups in my life for Heritage, wherever I've worked. That was as much fun as I've ever had on a consignment pickup. Michael can tell a story better than anybody else, and Tommy was probably tired of hearing stories, because we had stories when we were there. We had stories at dinner. Then we came back and had a few more stories, and we had 2 days of it. Finally, Chris was like, guys, we got to go to the airport. We have to get back to Dallas. And the man is incredible, covering the 49ers, covering the A's, covering the Raiders, and an incredible human being who can tell a story better than anybody else I've ever met. Just a wonderful, fun time, because we heard there were jerseys. We thought they were practice jerseys. We didn't know he had game worn jerseys, which ended up photo matching. So much fun. You know, you're on the road a lot, but to get to experience that was something I'll never forget.
Well, let's talk about some of those gamers that are in the collection.
Yeah. Just right off the bat, John Taylor, a guy who doesn't get the love that he should. Obviously, Jerry Rice got the headlines, but John Taylor was a capable number 2, caught the winning touchdown in a Super Bowl against the Bengals. This one here, photo match to a Super Bowl, and it's going to end tomorrow night. And it ends on Sunday night, already at $10,000. And, there's a lot of 49er fans out there that are going to go really hard for this one, go really crazy. The next one, Dwight Clark, another guy who, I didn't get the accolades that he probably deserved. Of course, everybody knows him from the catch. But
let's not talk about that, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not. I'm sorry. I didn't even think of that. My bad. Totally my bad on that. Rookie era, a guy who I think is a borderline Hall of Famer. Just an incredible athlete. That catch that he made, people still talk about to this day. But the cool thing about this jersey is it's really early from his career. And then after that, this one, he brought out a stack of photos. And to go through this, to see it for the first time, Chris and I are looking at these, and that Montana, you see how young he looks, from 1979, no less. And that one is going to get a very big number. There's been bids on it today I've seen. And that one, I think that was the only rookie that he had from Montana. Just that great up close. The image, though, that was on one of our covers is Bill Walsh and Joe Montana, termed the mentor and the master, from the NFC Championship game against the Bears, I believe, and from '85.
I love that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of incredible photos in that collection, but this is the best, in my opinion, this next one on the list there, Tommy.
It is, and you've seen these photos time and again. But they're, modern prints or they're scans. To have the actual Type 1 photo, incredibly difficult.
I love how it looks like they're drawing up a play in the dirt. And if you were going to do that, those were the 2 guys to have do it.
Exactly. In the angle that Joe Montana is and Walsh, it's just, that one I think really stood out to all of us. And that's going to be a fun one to see what that one ends at. The 1979 Bill Walsh being carried off the field on a 2-14 team, no less.
Yeah,
He
impressive.
won 2 games his first season. This being the second game that he won, and they're carrying him off the field at Candlestick Park. There wasn't much to be excited about with the 49ers.
Jimmy Johnson was not carried off the field after his first 1-8
No.
season with the Cowboys.
No. And this one here is very special. They were just, they weren't very good. And the problem is they traded away for O.J. Simpson, who was on his last legs of his career and didn't
That
really
trade
help him all
killed
that
them.
much. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Wow. And 1974, Al Davis. Al Davis did not like to be photographed, so you
Yeah.
better pick and choose your spots. What I liked about this photo is you got him clapping and then in the background, welcome 49er faithful. A very mutual respect with him and Bill Walsh and both organizations. And it's a great photo of Al Davis from, when Al Davis was kind of the top guy in football. So that one stood out, I thought. But a lot of these photos. This one here, the next one, is one of my coworkers. We were talking about the collection and some of the photos in the collection, and this is one that he mentioned to me. I mean, look at Kenny Stabler, the ultimate, gunslinger, kind of like a Bobby Lane, ahead of his time. Didn't have a care in the world, but stay out all night. And the next day, he was ready to go.
It's just like you, Tony.
Well, not anymore. No, I'm 50 now. I look more like the Kenny Stabler with the Houston Oilers than the Kenny Stabler with the Oakland Raiders. But just look at the confidence in his eyes in this photo. It's got his hands on hip, ready to go, and just a remarkable photo of Stabler, who probably should have gotten in the Hall of Fame a little bit earlier.
Yeah. And he also has some great photos covering rock and roll. I love this picture of the Who. Fantastic example here. It reminds me of the Babe Bows Out photo where it's all about the angle. Instead of shooting the band where you're in front of the band, he got them from behind. So you capture that crowd just going rabid in the background. Pete Townsend throwing his guitar up in the air. Incredible photo there. And there's some great Rolling Stone photos, a lot from the legends of that era in rock. So a really unique collection. Good work, Tony, bringing that in.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I want to go back now, though, too.
Well,
I want to hear some more
after the
stories,
auction-
as does Tommy. I think if we go back, I think Tommy has to come with us again and, get more stories, get more video, because he did a great job on that, by the way.
Excellent video, Tommy. Excellent work, as always. Tony, I have to ask you, do we have any significant wrestling items in the auction?
I think we do.
Yeah,
This one, when we first heard about it, it was that this exists was amazing. That it photo matched to WrestleMania 2. We had the Hogan boots from WrestleMania 1 that photo matched, and that they went for over $1 million. This one's starting to make that move right now. When you think of Hulk Hogan as a it closes tonight, and when you think of Hogan as being an WWF champion, this is the belt that you think of, and it's gotten some pretty good traction of late. And I think this is one of the items that's going to go pretty late into the night. So be prepared to stay up late if you're bidding on this one, because I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's just such a classic look. And when you see this in person, when you see the amount of wear on, it's the perfect amount of wear. There's a little bit of splitting, but that's what you want. You want to see that sweat staining. You want to see the oxidation on the inside. It's got the perfect amount of wear, and it's the title as a kid, growing up in the 80s. This is what this was the photo.
That's
this
the belt you wanted right there.
That's the belt I wanted, and I don't think, unless I really dig deep, I don't think I'm going to own this one.
But I love the aspect of that he gifted it to the kid of a friend. And two things about this picture. A, there's the kid who got the belt. And B, the guy on the left just cracks me up every time.
It looks like Leroy Neiman a little bit. When I first saw him, I'm like, wait a second, that's not him. Can you imagine though going to a match and coming home with the actual title belt? That is
Is that your dream every time you go to a?
no. I wanted to get an autograph. That would have been plenty for me to get the. I just can't imagine the thrill and going to school the next day, telling your buddies, "Hey, I got to meet the Hulkster, but I also got his belt." I mean, that is next level. So
That's been a very popular one at all the shows and previews. Even
yes.
people who told me, I'm not a big wrestling fan, but that's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
Mhm.
There was a lot of that sentiment going around, even on Park Avenue in New York, where it was an incredibly popular item. Tony, do we have any Hulk Hogan stuff for the Hulkamaniacs who can't afford a six-figure item?
Yeah, this one here has gotten I've had a lot of phone calls about. We talked about it on our WrestleWorth podcast a few times now. Hulk Hogan's 1980 wrestling license application authorization form and fingerprints with the vintage Terry Bollea
I love
signature. Yeah, I have a lot of guys that really are gravitating to the fingerprints being so unique. You've got the great autograph, you got the vintage autograph, but you got the fingerprints on there too. Very unique. This was recently discovered. I know we've had a couple applications in the past, but this one here really is so cool because it's early Hulk Hogan. It's when he was sterling gold. This was before he was. This was before Rocky. This is well before Rocky. This is when he was kind of making his name and
before Thunderlips, even is what.
Before Thunderlips, yes, the ultimate male, and just a really cool early Hogan piece. And I mean, it's already at 4,500 with 2 days left. 10,000, I think, is very attainable on this. And given how popular wrestling is right now, it could even do more than that.
Yeah, awesome piece. And we've also got his wrestling license application, which is such a cool Hulk Hogan piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you've got that early autograph and you've got a couple autographs here. And just from that vintage, I think, Hogan signed a lot. He did sign a lot. But I think at this period of his life, this early period, this takes on a whole different meaning. And again, before it was Hulkamania, this is the early stages. And I love how he fills out the form and answers all these questions. And it's a fun thing. If you get a chance, look at the item and just, look at some of the questions and some of the answers that he gave. It's just great material.
Yeah, it's a really incredible collection for wrestling in this auction. We also have, of course, Macho Man Randy Savage worn outfit, and one I love, the Rowdy Roddy Piper early career jacket. So if you're into wrestling, some great pieces. Quickly, before we get back into some other wrestling items, let's talk about some more great photos we have. This one really shocked me when it came in. It's a 1951 Mickey Mantle period signed rookie photograph. So you've got an image of Mickey Mantle as a rookie, and he signed it then. Awesome image of him right there. The definitive clue to dating it is on Mantle's left sleeve, the American League Golden Anniversary patch that was worn only in 1951. So that locks it down to Mantle's debut campaign. And then we've been very lucky to sell a lot of Mantle rookie signed material. And so we are very familiar with his rookie autograph format. And that's what we've got here on this Burke and Brace Type 1 photo.
And I love that early format autograph of his. As he got more popular, his autograph evolved a bit. And that's that early signature of his, which he used for maybe 1 or 2 years only. And yeah, great up close photo, clear photo of him, and that nice vintage autograph. And it's such a cool piece of Mantle, as a youngster. And he struggled early on and found his way and became, the Mick. And but yeah, I mean, it's having that original photo like that and that vintage autograph, it's so remarkable because let's be honest, 80%, 90% of what's out there was signed in the in the 80s and 90s. And to have something from have that vintage signature, have that vintage look, I love it.
Yeah, very cool piece. And this next one is a really unique photo that when it came in, I was very excited about it. This 1984 Michael Jordan signed rookie photograph, and it's from that famous Nike Air Jordan 1 photo shoot. We all know it, the shoot that gave us the Jumpman logo, November 1984 in Chicago. Photographer Chuck Kuhn, he was shooting a moment that defined Jordan's pro career. It was held over 2 days. The photo shoot introduced the earliest Air Jordan sneakers, including the prototype black toe and the black red samples. And this was when Nike was still even forming their identity around Jordan, of course. Great idea. So they were at a fenced-in Catholic grade school playground. It attracted a crowd, of course, with the Rookie of the Year there doing a photo shoot. So Jordan, during breaks while they were setting up, he was going over and talking to the crowd. He was signing autographs and putting them through the chain link fence. And Chuck Kuhn snapped this photo of him with the crowd. Just a great behind the scenes look. Early Jordan as a rookie, and then signed at that year when he was a rookie, just like the Mantle one. It's that rookie format signature. It's an 8x10, so it's nice size. Such a cool Jordan piece.
I mean, I love where it was taken. I love seeing the people in the background. We did Media Day in Chicago, and that was one of the pieces that a lot of the people were really interested in. And it's early Jordan. You can pinpoint when this was taken. Such a pivotal time. And, he changed marketing forever. And I just love the image. I love everything about it. You've got him, you've got the crowd, you got the background, you've got everything. You've got early Jordan, and a remarkable piece. And again, anything early.
You can recognize the outfit from that Jumpman photo. Yep. And, if Jordan's doing a photo shoot now, you can bet they're not going to allow a crowd to stand around and watch. He's not going to sign autographs for him. So this was right at the beginning when you could still approach Jordan. Yeah.
It's great photo. We got some great Jordan photos in this auction. That one really stands out because, again, I love the early look. I love that early Nike, what he's wearing. You got the basketball. It has everything you could want.
Yeah. This next one, we have some great non-sports pieces, and this is a really unique piece of history here. Tony, if I said JFK, Marilyn Monroe song, what are you thinking?
Mr. President. And I would try to sing, but I cannot carry a tune. And if I tried to, I think Tommy might just call it a career and just cut this out forever. But no, first of all, when you look at this, the autograph is amazing. You may see this ticket once in a while, but to have it signed by JFK, again, we talked about the Babe Ruth ticket signed. This is kind of, I know it's not quite that level, but it is so neat that it's signed. It had to be signed at the event. Yes. And the ticket, the pass, is so cool because he's on it, it's dated, and it's signed. Is it the only known? It very well could be the only known one.
The only signed example in the PSA population. May 19th, 1962, the Democratic Party turned JFK's birthday celebration essentially into a fundraiser at Madison Square Garden. All the big celebrities of the day were there. Ella Fitzgerald, Harry Belafonte, Jack Benny, Jimmy Durante, Shirley MacLaine, and of course, Marilyn Monroe, who famously sang Happy Birthday, Mr. President, which became a moment every American knows. Everyone's seen it. Sadly, Monroe would pass just 3 months later. But yes, this is the only known signed example of this ticket. It's a pretty rare ticket, even though 15,000 people were there. It's just people didn't keep tickets from political events like that, and keeping tickets in general wasn't that popular. But yes, someone there must have gotten it signed. So an incredibly unique Kennedy piece. And even to this day, anything Kennedy really stirs emotions for collectors.
And most of the tickets back then, they didn't have photographs of the person being honored. They didn't do that. They were very simplistic, and it was something they just kind of churned out. But this one here, you've got that great photo and that gorgeous signature. And there's just not enough of his autograph to go around, especially on that medium. Anytime you've got the only known exemplar, and it's JFK. and with Marilyn Monroe, obviously, it's a remarkable piece, and it's a beautiful looking ticket. I love the outside with the red, white, and blue, kind of like a candy cane type of configuration. Just a wonderful ticket.
All right, we've got so many collections in the auction, and Tony, I know you brought in a wrestling collection as well.
This one's been a blast from the beginning. Jeff Jarrett celebrating his 40 years in wrestling, and they did a 3-episode Dark Side of the Ring, and just to being able to participate on his podcast for the last month has been a blast. Conrad Thompson helped orchestrate this entire thing, and I mean, you're talking early to mid 90s. You are talking some of the most outlandish, outrageous colors. You got orange, you got pink,
It's like he took Macho Man's style and just took it to the next level.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, it's, you know, this style alone is just so unique, and so it just screams 1990s. And what I love about this first one is it's got the cape attached to it, so it's got everything. And I will tell, Jeff Jarrett did a heck of a job of signing this material. I asked him, I said, "Do you have any pens?" And he said, "Tony, of course I do. I'm a wrestler. I've got to have pens at all the, you know, to sign autographs and everything." So he did a wonderful job, but he has done a wonderful job of promoting it. The thing about it, which is so much fun, is we've been talking about these pieces so much, but he's also telling the story behind it, when it was from, stories about on the road, wearing this material, making the big jump to WWF. It's just, yeah, it's been so much fun working with him. The second one we've got here, again, you're talking early to mid 90s, and those crazy colors, is kind of a similar design as well. You've got the cape attached to it, and he did just a wonderful job on these. And again, Conrad just did a wonderful job of creating some of these videos with Jeff talking about his collection. And then the one that I love to death, the sunglasses. When you think of him, you think of those, I don't know how I say it, stylish sunglasses. And, you know, he wore these in the 2000s. And, you know, there's something for everybody. You know, it's a person who doesn't have the 15, 20,000 for some of these outfits. The glasses are a great alternative. And, again, you know, just an amazing that a guy can last that long in such a tough business, being on the road all the time. And, again, him telling the stories behind the pieces is so important. It's so vital, because I say it all the time. You're buying the item, but you're also buying the story behind the item. And when a wrestler will open up and tell stories about, you know, why did you have this design, and, you know, just hearing the stories behind the gear is so important.
Great stuff as always. Tony, take a look at the big board. We're about to take another
break.
break.
My goodness.
Let's see what's happening. We're 28 minutes from extended bidding for session 1 right now.
One of the standout items, Kobe Bryant game used and photo match jersey. We've seen Kobe items just go absolutely crazy in the last few years now, and he's starting to really go up quite a bit. The Hogan belt, $230,000 right now, so you're seeing that one make a nice little jump. You mentioned pants before, Roger Maris photo match pants, and that was one of the most interesting advertisement pieces Heritage has ever created. And Chris Ivy, I will say, he looked at one of the ads when I was next to him. He said, "What the heck is this?" And I said,
Well, that was all Rob Rosen's idea, the pants flyer.
Well, then it was a good idea. If it was Rob's idea, it was a great idea.
But we have Roger Maris pants. We photo match from 1960. We have Tom Brady's, the pants he wore in his last game when the Cowboys finally beat him, the only time the Cowboys beat him. We have Brett Favre pants. If you're into pants, this is the auction for you.
Wow, it's an amazing.
Right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. We're going to talk about a few more highlights, and then we'll let y'all get to bidding and extended bidding. So take a look at this.
Is this Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas dual logo man greatest rivalry logo man that exists? This 2004 SP Authentics dual logo man features two huge rivals. The Isaiah Thomas Pistons and Michael Jordan Bulls was the preeminent rivalry of the late 80s in the Eastern Conference, as the Pistons blocked the Bulls in the postseason from 88 to 90, with Jordan and Chicago finally breaking through in 91. It's an unbelievable one-of-one card pairing two NBA legends that were always at each other's throat, and it's going to find a new home in our summer Platinum Night auction.
And that dual logo man is going to find a new home tomorrow night. We've been especially blessed to have some great logo man cards, some great dual logo mans. In fact, last year we set the record for a sports card with a Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant dual logo man. So this one, Isaiah Thomas and Jordan, is very unique. Obviously, the rivalry there. When I talked to people about this one and said, is this the biggest rivalry dual logo man? Everyone said, well, what about the Magic and Larry Bird logo man, which does exist? Big rivals on the court, but off the court, they're like best friends. Not the case here. Jordan and Isaiah, rivals on the court, rivals off it, even to this day. So really interesting logo man piece here.
That was one card at the National a lot of people were asking about. That one, I didn't even, honestly, I didn't realize we had it until the National, and a lot of people came up to look at that card. And because you're right. I mean, it's two kind of strange guys to have together, two bitter rivals that to this day I don't think have much love lost for each other. And just a very unique one. And yeah, that one, that was one of the cards that really surprised me, that a lot of people were asking about that card. They wanted to see that card. So I think that's another one that's going to have a pretty long night tonight in a good way.
And one also that's going to have a long night tomorrow night, one of the biggest chase cards from just 2 years ago, the 2024 Topps Now Shohei Ohtani autograph gold 50/50 1/1. This one has been getting a ton of attention. Anything Ohtani is, incredible card here. Got the NBA gold as well on the 1/1, but very intrigued to see the final number on this one, given how high the Ohtani market is right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's the front runner for MVP yet again, and we've talked about it before. A once in a lifetime player, not a once in a generation player. The inscription is amazing, and he's doing things that have never been done before or haven't been done in 100 years. So it's fun to watch him. He's one of those guys. When he's batting, when he's playing, you drop what you're doing, even if you're not a Dodger fan, and watch him, because we may never see this
Something
again.
you've never seen before.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, to hit a 450-foot home run and throw 100 miles an hour, that just doesn't happen. And hopefully it encourages other kids to try to do that. But yeah, it's so much fun to watch him, especially in the game today. It's just amazing to watch him. And they're going to be in it at the end as well, as they always are, it seems like.
And like we talked about with the Barry Sanders 1/1 earlier, this one here has a chance to set a record. The 1998 Skybox Metal Universe, Peyton Manning. This one also a gym master. It's the rookie 1/1, the PSA 8.5. We hold the record for any kind of Peyton Manning item with his rookie photo match jersey at 386,000. We hold the record for a Peyton Manning card, but this one has a chance to take them both down. This is Peyton Manning's finest card right here. Beautiful 1/1. You've got the Vol uniform on him. So very intrigued to see what happens with this one. It's closing tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some, you mentioned the Barry Sanders card. And this one here, I mean, Peyton Manning was like a cheat code almost. I mean, he made it look so easy. He made offensive football look just like anybody could do it. And he was remarkable. And to have his best card in our auction, my goodness, that's going to be a fun one to watch. And again, I think that one's going to have quite a bit of legs in it.
All right. And wait, what's this? Tony, you brought in another collection for the auction?
Oh, this one was a blast. Rob Rosen spearheaded this collection, and I got to go with
I think
Rob.
that's the only thing Rob brought in for the auction, but what a cool one for him.
I will say this about Rob Rosen. He was a tremendous host. He picked me up at my hotel, had a bagel, had a coffee. I mean, my goodness, I felt like high society. I loved it, man. I mean, he was great. But no, Howard Schnellenberger's collection, and I knew of Howard Schnellenberger from, the U and the ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize how long his career was and how impactful he was. I didn't realize he was with Bear Bryant at Alabama. Then he was on the 72 Dolphins as a offensive coordinator. I mean, this guy had quite the career, and he literally made the U. He took the U from a wasteland and made him into champions. And his wife is just a special lady. We had so much fun hanging out with her and seeing his collectibles, hearing the stories. We've got the rings, we've got jackets, we've got something for everybody. But the one thing,
what about pipes?
that was the one thing I was just going to bring up. We have some of his pipes, and they show, quote, good use to him. He smoked those pipes, and it was such a fun collection to pick up. Just because, I mean, like I said, his wife, his widow, was just remarkable. So much fun, and Rob did a wonderful job, just bringing this all together, and just seeing, his rings are something, but he had the stump that he would stand on to give a speech. Just kind of just a really cool collection of an icon. And there's more coming up in October. There's going to be more in December as well. So we kind of split it up a bit. Some of the highlights are obviously in the Platinum Night sale, but it's a fun collection, and I think one again that's going to turn a lot of heads once it does close.
Yeah, a very unique collection for sure. Like those little pieces like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That one certainly stood out. Another unique piece here that caused a lot of fervor when it arrived. This is the 1948 U.S. Open Ben Hogan used golf bag. So what we have here is Hogan's Alley meets Hollywood Provenance. According to the Provenance, Ben Hogan used this golf bag and the clubs during the 1948 U.S. Open, which he won by 8 strokes. And then he gave them to actor Glenn Ford so he could portray Hogan in the movie Follow the Sun. And it's photo match to Ford using the clubs. So you've got one of the greatest golfers of all time using the clubs for a U.S. Open victory, then giving them to Glenn Ford, who was portraying him in the movie of his life. It's photo match to those. One of those great intersection of sports and entertainment pieces here. Really incredible piece, really unique. We have a great golf section in this auction, which we're about to get into also, but this one's very special.
It is. And going from one legend, from a golf legend to a Hollywood legend, I mean, Glenn Ford, I mean, that is a big name. Yeah. And the thing is, there's not a lot of really high end vintage golf. Yes, we sold the Sam Snead collection about 14 years ago, and which was amazing. But this one here, yeah, Hogan, he's one of those early names that helped build the sport and make it what it is. And to have that with that kind of story behind it, it's just so much fun to have that. And again, I think this one's going to do extremely well.
And speaking of the Sam Snead collection, this is one of the greatest golf pieces to reach the auction block. It originally came out of that Snead collection. But this is Sam Snead's Claret Jug from his 1946 British Open Championship win. Let's face it, Tony, neither of us are ever going to win the British Open. So most people watching will not be able to win it either. So this is as close as you're going to get. But this is one of those legendary trophies. Snead's only victory at the British Open. And there's a reason for that. He only played it 3 times. He played it in 1937 because he was there for the Ryder Cup, which the U.S. won. It was the Ryder Cup, and then 2 weeks later was the British Open, so he played in that. Then we had World War II, and then when they resumed after the war in 1946, Sam Snead won it. But In 46, it cost Snead $2,000 to travel to England for the British Open. His winner's check, $600 for the British Open. So he decided he decided to stop attending because it wasn't worth it for his pocketbook. But then later in his career, he went back one more time, kind of as an homage. But this was his only win. He's got 7 majors. He's tied with Tiger for the all-time victory lead at 82. Looking like that's probably going to stay a tie for at least a while. But incredible piece here. You've got the past winners' names on the trophy. So Bobby Jones is on there. Walter Hagen is on there. And what an incredible display piece to have.
And the whole thing is, it's having the trophy. It was Sam Snead's trophy, no less. I mean, my God, one of the absolute legends. That was the first collection I ever got to go to when I started at Heritage, and Sam Snead Jr. was just so much fun to deal with. And I remember him telling me a story when his mom and dad married on their honeymoon. He worked in, hey honey, there's a tournament going on this weekend. Can I go to it? Sure. And I think he did actually win the tournament. I want to say it was like in Buffalo. And, the stories were just amazing. And yeah, again, to have Sam Snead's, trophy, that takes it to a whole different level. So yeah, that one's at an incredible number right now. And I think there's going to be room for it to move up even more. So yeah, just an amazing trophy that hasn't seen the light of day in about 13, 14 years.
Yeah, as you see, it disappeared into a collection. It's been over a decade since it came out. Tony, let's talk about some more gamers before we let the people get to bidding.
Yeah, Marcus Allen. This one, when this came in, it's so hard to photo match white jerseys. It really, truly is. It's just hard to get those points and all that kind of thing. And Marcus Allen was, such a versatile running back. And this one here from 1984. It's it's probably one of the finest Marcus Allen jerseys that you're going to find in the hobby, and just a remarkable jersey from a heck of a running back that Raider collectors spend money. They are very, very passionate. So I think this one, which got a day left at 14,000, I think this one's going to do a big, big number. But great use, photo match from Marcus Allen when he was at the top of his game, not standing on the bench when Al Davis wouldn't play him in spite of how good he was. So yeah, just a great jersey from Marcus Allen. And there's not a lot of high quality Marcus Allen jerseys in the market. So this one, you don't want to let this one go because it may be a long time before you see another one.
Yeah, very cool piece, as is this Bears jersey you've got next.
Yeah, at the National, we have a Richard Dent that's in this auction that has more repairs than I've ever seen on a uniform before. But here's another guy, Matt Suey. Didn't get a lot of headlines. It was obviously going to be Walter Payton, and they had Jim McMahon and that great defense. But Matt Suey kind of kept it all together. And this is one that photo match I think is kind of a neat one. It's got the George Halas initials on the side, and it's photo matched. And the Bears have quite the history. The Hammond Bears, maybe, I don't know. It's a cool jersey, and it's you don't see a lot of high quality Matt Suey jerseys out there, and he was instrumental on the '85 Bears team. So I thought that was kind of a neat one.
Yeah, good choice. And one of the top items here, anytime you say Larry Bird photo matched gamer, you're going to get collectors' attention, and that's what we have here. Massive use on this Larry Bird gamer. It's the earliest photo matched Larry Bird gamer in the industry. So a huge one, early career, 82 to 83. Beautiful example, that cheesecloth 80s Celtics jersey. This one's one of the stars of the auction, and I'm expecting some fireworks once it comes around tomorrow.
It's a timeless look, and it's Larry Bird. And for the longest time, you could not find a Larry Bird photo match jersey. We had a record number about 2 years ago now. And this one, yeah, you mentioned it. You made a great point. 82, 83. And back then they would wear a jersey literally half the season, and this one shows the great wear. And NBA collectors, it's a worldwide phenomenon. And Bird is just Bird magic helped save the game when they needed it the most. And a photo match Bird, yeah, this one I can see breaking records.
And we've got some recent hoops history here. This is a 2025 Cooper Flag game-worn Mavericks rookie jersey, photo match to multiple games, including one all Mavericks fans will remember, his historic 35-point breakout performance against the Clippers on November 29th. He had been okay to start the season, but some Mavericks fans were kind of wondering, is this guy going to be the true number one, the rookie of the year? But then that game, he scored 35 points. That was his breakout. The next 20 games, he averaged 24 points a game. He just went on a tear. This one comes to us directly from the Mavericks. It has their COA. If the winning bidder wants Cooper to sign it, the Mavericks will make that happen. So that's a cool thing here. The reigning rookie of the year, heard in the offseason, he grew 1.5 inches. So all those skills, and he's going to be a little bit taller this year. But, quality star Mavericks jerseys don't come out too often. And this is one from his rookie year. So obviously a lot of interest for one of those bookend items.
How do I grow that in an off season?
Yeah.
Can you ask them?
Off season too.
Yeah, I could use that. No, but yeah, I mean, coming from the team, photo match, it's got everything. Rookie year, and he's kind of the future of the organization. And
no question.
Yeah, I mean, his future is so bright that and another thing is it was used multiple games, so you don't have to worry about was it used for a half, multiple games, and from the Mavericks. So it's a unbelievable jersey.
Let's keep going, Tony. Let's talk some baseball.
Yeah, 1937 Yankees team signed ball. It's got 22 autographs on it. One of my good friends in the hobby called me about this ball yesterday, wanted to know a little bit more about it. This has been in a collection for decades. And the guy who had this baseball has such a good eye for it. There's no clubhouse. I don't believe there's any clubhouse on this one. You got Gehrig on the sweet spot and Joe McCarthy. It's just it's a gorgeous sign ball. You've got Joe DiMaggio on there too, and it's so hard to find these high quality vintage baseballs. And also look at the stampings. The stampings are just so bright that that one is really standing out to me. And I think that's going to be a fun one to watch and see what it goes for.
All right, Tony, what do you got next?
This one, I was going through the auction, and I love uniforms. I love game used jerseys. It's always been kind of a passion of mine. And I just, this Craig Biggio, and it's at $62.50 right now, and it's a look that you don't think of Craig Biggio wearing the rainbow knit, and this one is earlier in his career and shows good use. But what I love is, you look at that Russell Athletic tag, you got the fabric content, but then you've got the sleeve length, and then you've got the minus length. It's got everything going for it, and it's a style you rarely see from Craig Biggio. It's early, and then they went to a more modern look to the gray and then the white. But this is kind of the swan song for the rainbow knits, and I just love that look. And every time I see him, I always am like, man, can you believe they wore that in a game?
Yeah, that's one that hits a soft spot in everybody's heart for sure, especially here in Texas.
Yes. Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
We have some great Ken Griffey Jr. Reds items with provenance from a team employee. And these are just cool because Griffey Jr., I mean, you and I he was the coolest guy. He still is probably the coolest guy. And those glasses, those flip glasses, kind of like, what he wore. And there's just so many things. You got you've got the flip glass, you got the part of the nose. If you look closely, it's got the extra cushion on the nose, and just it's a neat piece of Griffey.
Casey ran into the wall chasing a homer,
which he did. But we have we mentioned the $150,000 bat. You've got the photo match jersey, but this one's a little more affordable, and it's just a cool look at Griffey when he was the king of baseball.
Yeah. Very unique piece, but very recognizable. Speaking of unique, this next one here, when this inquiry came in, I had to call my brother-in-law, who's from Philadelphia and a Phillies fan, and ask him about it, and he remembered this vividly. So this is the wall from the 2003 Phillies season, the last year of Veterans Stadium. This was installed in right field. It was the countdown wall. And what they did is they had Philadelphia icons and luminaries would come out at each game and take the number off and put the new number on as they counted it down. Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Larry Boa, every legend came out and did it. Harry Callis, the broadcaster, did the final one. But an important piece of Philadelphia history, Veterans Stadium, and this was actually part of the stadium for the goodbye and countdown season.
Yeah, it's so unique. It's so unique, and I think you can go back and look at some of the footage when they would take down the take off the numbers, and the vet. I mean, it had some charm to it, I guess you could say. It was a very unique venue. I was never able to go there, and I probably have been too scared to go there. And I can only imagine what happened at that stadium. But no matter what, good or bad, it has a place in sports history. And any kind of artifacts like that take on special meaning. And you're starting to see people really go after some of those items, some of those unique stadium items, because that's their childhood. That's their,
Right.
that's when they were, during their youth. And anytime, you can go back and look at that. It's a neat piece. And, to the guy that's got the Mike Schmidt game worn jersey, Steve Carlton game worn jersey, Chase Utley, this is one that's just kind of special and something different. And that's going to be a good one to watch.
12 foot by 8 foot. This belongs in a Philadelphia man cave. And then this next piece here, as a Knicks fan, this is probably my favorite piece in the auction. So this is a 2011 8th grade Jalen Brunson autograph. One of his schoolmates who was friends with him in school reached out the day after the Knicks won the title and said, "Is now a good time to sell a unique Jalen Brunson piece?" And I said, "It's literally the best time ever for something like that." So a few things I love about this. A, Jalen Brunson signed it and put the 1 out of 1 inscription. It's the earliest Brunson autograph we've seen. Really clean, nice autograph as well in this Twin Groves Middle School. What I also like is it has a picture of 8th grade Jalen Brunson. Of course, there he is, immediately recognizable. It has the basketball team picture. Wait till you see what the coach was wearing. Yeah, the coach went all out there.
Brunson, oh my God, that is awesome.
Brunson back row, far left there. Yeah, the kids all look shocked. No surprise, the team was undefeated, won the title. But the other thing I like is, other than having the autograph of an NBA superstar, this looks just like everybody's middle school yearbook as far as the friends autographs. They're putting crazy things. They're making jokes. They're talking about teachers that they don't like. Have a kick-ass summer in there. It's got all that. So it's something everybody can relate to in that aspect if you went to middle school with an NBA champion.
There's so many things that make this cool. And, I having this at the National, it was front and center at the National. And a lot of people did look at it because you see a middle school yearbook sign, you're like, well, whose was it? And there's nobody hotter in basketball right now. And I can only imagine, I know you being a Knicks fan and you being able to attend the parade, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Yes,
my son went to the parade.
That's a life moment, by the way, and I'm glad that you made it there. But it's literally a 1 of 1, and anytime you got the earliest known of anybody, especially with him, Jalen Brunson's going to always be a legend in New York. Yeah, I mean it's a cool piece, and it's a conversation piece. It really truly is, and the defending champions.
Everyone I've showed that to has flipped out about it. It's all great, but then the inscription too. And the consigner, I asked him, I said, did you all know that he had a future in basketball? And he said, of course. Like he said, he already had that killer instinct when he was in middle school. So very cool. But he said he was also very studious and nerdy. I believe they were in debate together. But yeah, great piece. All right, Tony, we're getting close here. Let's wrap it up. You got
Yep, we got two more real quick. Andre the Giant is license application from 1986 when he was during his run as the Giant Machine when he was quote suspended for not showing up for some events. They kept Andre going. Obviously, Andre had the size; it was impossible to hide him, but he was the Giant Machine. So a very rare piece from his short time as the Giant Machine, and the one we'll end up with. The 2002 Ric Flair match-worn Nature Boy swatch from one of his robes with a probable match. Yes, his robes are 150, 200,000 now. This gives somebody that doesn't have quite that much money to afford something of the Nature Boy, who was, he's most likely the greatest wrestler of all time, and he's still going strong.
Great display piece, too.
It is, yeah, it's unbelievable. And the thing is, you've got the best part of that robe right there. So, yeah, amazing auction. I'll say that. And looking forward to
so much more to talk about, so much more to dig in. We'll be back tomorrow night to talk about session 2 and session 3. Extended bidding has begun. Do you hear the alarms going off?
I do.
So hit the big board one more time, Tony, before we
Holy
go.
cows. So we've got
there they are.
We got the Yamamoto at 270,000 right now. The Brady Spectrum rookie at 155,000. These prices are just amazing. The Mantle, 2.4 million. The Honus Wagner just got hit. I mean, this is just an incredible auction. 3.55 million on the Honus Wagner. Dig in, get some beef jerky and Mountain Dew, and have a good time tonight, everybody, because this is going to be a fun one. This is one, I remember when we sold the Ruth jersey. We were here till I think 4:30 in the morning. Yes. Let's try to have that happen again.
Yes, let's do it. A huge thank you to all our consigners for trusting us with their material, all of our bidders, the team of dozens who help us put on this show. Tony, how can people get a hold of you?
Tony G at ha.com, 214-409-1997. I don't even know where I'm going next. Calgary, Montreal, Toronto are coming up. A lot of consignment trips are coming up next week. I'm going to be with Rob Rosen again. So stay tuned. We're going to have more stuff.
Duo.
Yeah, I got to get him the coffee and got to get him the bagel this time, though.
And you can reach me by DMing or reaching out on any of our social media platforms. I run those. Thank you to all the fans and collectors who came to all the shows and previews. Good luck tonight and happy collecting.